Okay, welcome to FM Tuition Academy. Are you a grade 5, a grade 6, a grade 7, or are you a parent who has come across this video and you want your child to be able to be assisted to write perfectly exams so that we can train them to pass ECZ exam or any other exam? We are able to help them. So grade 5, grade 6, grade 7s. So you can contact us on that WhatsApp line, which is 0979222076. So if you are a parent, please contact us on that number so that we help your child to pass the exams. And if you have got a cousin or an in-law or anybody who has a child in those grades, you can actually send that number to them. Tell them there's an effective tuition center that is assisting children to pass exams, so they contact us and we help them. Okay, let's go straight into a past paper. Okay, now this is the creative technology, CTS. In case you do not know, this is CTS, Creative Technology Studies. Okay, so we'll be looking at what is the answer for the first question. Suitable crops that can be in the kitchen garden, what are those? That is question 21. Suitable crops for kitchen garden include, it means what kind of crops can you plant at the kitchen garden? Okay, if you look at our answers, D question, there are several options there. There is A, B, C, D. Look at D. D has got mango. Mango is not a crop. Mango is a plant. So D, the answer D is removed because it is mango. The answer B is also removed because B has got lemon. Lemon is not a crop. Okay, it's not a crop. So the only answer here that is suitable is actually A. So the answer is actually A. That is it for question 21. The answer is A. Question 22. Over polished floors and bananas. Question 22. Over polished floors and bananas and banana peels on the floor are common. You remember a long time ago, or even now, you find that most of the floors in the house, they are polished. You go and buy polish and then you polish the floor. And sometimes you find that when a child is eating bananas, a banana leaf will fall on the ground. What does that cause? You see, when the floor is very polished, when someone is walking on the floor, he can slide down and fall. And if there's a banana there, you see, a banana is very slippery. So when someone steps on it, the person will slide and fall. They'll have an accident. So here they're saying, on question 22, over polished floors, when the floor is polished too much and you floor bananas on it, banana peels on the floor are common causes of accidents in homes. So the answer is A. Okay, answer is A here. Accident in homes. Whenever the floor is too much polished and so on, you find that there'll be accidents because when someone is rushing or is running, if the floor is too polished, he will slide down and fall. Same thing if there is a banana leaf on the ground. Once he steps on that banana peel, rather, when he steps on the banana peel, it will slide and it's going to fall and even break himself. Okay. Question 23. What should be done to get good ventilation in a room? Okay. A, avoid the overcrowding of the room. Close all to ventilate. Ventilation, it means, for example, in the house, when you wake up in the morning, you open the windows of the house so that air can come in, so that the room is fresh. That process is called ventilating a room. It means you are allowing fresh air. So it means when the room is not ventilated, it will be stinking. There'll be too much, bad smell coming from that room. Now here the question is saying, what should be done to get good ventilation? Close all the windows. B is close all the windows. No, if you close the windows, there'll be no ventilation, because when you open the windows, that's when there'll be air coming in. That's when there'll be ventilation. So B is wrong. Same thing when you go to C, keeping the brazier or fire in the house for all. The brazier has nothing to do with ventilating a room. When you go in a room, for example, a brazier, that's what you use for cooking shima outside. In our local language, the brazier is called chimbaula. So embaula, when you use it, how can embaula? There's no way it can actually what? There's no way it can actually provide ventilation. It can't. Okay, it can't. Okay, because when you put a brazier in your bedroom, you put it in the steam room, it will just produce smoke, and people will be there'll be carbon monoxide that is going to be removed, that's going to come out, and then that will choke people. That's the reason why if you have got a brazier, that smoke that comes out chokes you, so it will encourage contamination. So the only way is avoid overcrowding the room. So the answer is A again, only 23, because when the room is too overcrowded, meaning if you put a lot of people in one room, there'll be no ventilation, people will not breathe nicely. Okay, overcrowding, it means putting a lot of people in one place. 24, the reason to leave an opening in clothes is to, why is it that you leave opening in a clothes? Most clothes have got certain openings. Why do you leave openings on certain clothes? They act as what? Decoration. B. Okay, so that the clothes looks nice. Okay, happiness. Question 25. Happiness, fear, anger, and surprise are expressions of body, factual, friendly, personal. The answer is D. Your personality. You can either be a happy person, a fearful person, an angry person. You can be surprised. These are expressions of the what? The personality of a person. Okay, kwashoka is due to lack of. Kwashoka is due to lack of what? What is the disease called kwashoka? So usually you need to know these things by heart, and even as you study, your understanding of science is increased. You have to know what is kwashoka. Kwashoka is a lack of what? You see, you find a child when he's born, they say when you go at the clinic, they say the child has got kwashoka. So kwashoka is lack of what? Okay, kwashoka is lack of what? You need to come to that understanding, even to have a perfect understanding. So kwashoka usually is lack of proteins. When a child has got less proteins in the body, we say that child has kwashoka. C. Okay. When a child has we said we're looking at question 26. What is kwashoka? Trying to understand what kwashoka is. So kwashoka is due to lack of what did you learn concerning kwashoka? Okay, usually kwashiorkor is due to lack of proteins in the body. Okay, so the answer here is C. Whenever when a child is born and then is not eating a lot of food that is rich in protein, such as he is not eating a lot of fish, a lot of groundnuts, a lot of eggs, the child will have less protein content in his body, and then he can be sick of kwashiorkor. So kwashiorkor is due to lack of protein in the body. Okay, 27. Dash percentage of water makes up the body. Usually 60% of your body, 60% of your body, 60%, it's made up of what? Water. Okay, so meaning the answer here is actually D. 65 is more suitable. So 60% of your body is water. When you look at your body, 60% is made up of water. There is so much water in your body. 60% of your body is made up of water. That's the reason why I've picked 65. It's the only one that is closer to 60%. Okay, 2 reasons why the armpits should be washed. These armpits, you find someone's armpits, meaning in the arms, between the arms there is hair there. So why do we wash armpits? To avoid bad smell and stains. That's discolor clothes. Yes, A. That is the answer there. What does human development mean? When you say human development, it means the development of a human being, the growth process, the maturing process. You see? So the answer is C. The answer is actually what? The answer is actually C. Okay? The answer is actually C. Okay. What do we have? Let's look at the last question. What last question do we have? The last question is okay, let's look at question 31. Not 31, we're on 30. How many round-headed tablespoons make up 100 grams? It is actually 3. So the answer there is 3. Okay, the answer there is actually 3. So the answer there is 3 on question. We'll have 3. Question 30 is okay. Because of space down there, I'll write these answers. So 30 is actually, question 30 is actually, question 30 there is actually C. So question 30 is actually C. Question 30 is actually C. So question 30, we are going to put C on question 30. Question 30 is C. Okay. What about question 31? 31. There was no space down there, so I had to put question 30 there on top. I'm just writing, but I was just reading it from that side. So look at question 31. Question 31 says list the equipment found in the traditional kitchen. In the kitchen traditionally, what do we have? You find in the traditional kitchen there is the brazier. There is no sink in the traditional kitchen, but you find small cupboards, fire space, and a stool where people sit, and a fireplace. So the answer is actually C. 31 is actually C. So 31 is actually C. Okay, what about question 32? Okay, question 32. So 30 is C, 31 is C, And then 32 is what? There was no space down there, so I was unable to write, so that's why I'm writing this side. But you can see them. 31, 32. Question 32. Question 32. Okay, question 32 is not visible, unfortunately. Here it is written, which of the following defines safety in a home? I didn't write, I didn't capture the other answers well, but usually safety in a home, it deals with having the first ID in the home. 32, the answer is actually, I know 32, there's only A and B. C and D, the answers are not theirs, but the answer is A. On 32, the answer is A, in case you didn't know. 32, the answer is actually A. The answer is actually A on 32. The answer is actually A. Because you need to have a first aid. Okay? The first aid, maybe you don't know. For you to have safety in a house, when you're at home, to have safety in a home, you find that mom and dad will buy a first aid. A first aid is a small box where you put safety things like you put a bandage in there, you put medicine there, you put anything that you can easily use in case someone has got an accident at home. You put some plasters in there in case you injure yourself. You can just remove a plaster in there, some medicine in there. So a first aid box is a box that has got different medicines, it has got bandages, it has got what, anything that you need, it's there in a house. So that's why here it's written, which of the following defines safety in a house? It's a first aid box. Okay, a first aid kit or first aid box. Okay. Let's go to the next part. Which scales are not available? 33. Which scales are not available? Give one example of a handy measure that can be used. When there's no scale, what can you use? Where scales are not available, give one example of a handy measure that can be used. You can use a measuring cup. B. You find when you go somewhere, people will be measuring for you. Maybe you're trying to go and buy beans at the market. They will use a small cup to measure for you. They'll say, this small cup is costing this. A measuring cup is used. Okay? At the market, when you're trying to go and buy beans, rice, they'll put it in a cup. Since there's no scale there, they use a measuring cup. In terms, 34, in terms level, rounded, hipped, are often used to measure what? These are usually used, this is used to measure the spoon. D. Used to measure the spoon. D. Whenever you're dealing with measures like round, level, hipped, those are measurements that have to do with a spoon. When you're measuring on the spoon, you deal with level, hipped, and rounded. As you can see there, whenever you're dealing with level, rounded, and hipped, those measurements are used on a spoon. So someone will tell you, no, level the spoon. They'll tell you round the spoon, hip a spoon, and so on. So 35, dash are known to keep off smells in the pit latrine. Ashes, when you put ash in a pit latrine, it will remove all the smell that was in that pit latrine. So people usually use ashes. A pit latrine, these pit latrines are the ones that you go in rural places. So when you go in rural areas like in the village, they don't have toilets. They have got pit latrines, they're the ones that they have. So there is smell that comes from those pit latrines. So in order to remove that smell, what do you put there? You put ash. Ash, I don't know if you know what ash is. Maybe some of you do not know what ash is. Ash is when you burn things. After you burn things, there is that white powder that after burning, anything that you are burning. Maybe you are burning trees, maybe you are burning bushes. There's that white powder. That white powder is what is called ash. When you throw it inside the toilet or in the latrine, the smell of the latrine will just disappear. 37. The most important reason for weighing and measuring ingredients is to avoid mistakes in measuring, balance the quantities, get good results. The reason why we measure is so that we can get good results. C is to get good results. That's the reason why we measure quantities. Whenever you're trying to cook, we will measure. Whenever we're trying to weigh things, we measure. Why? Because we're trying to get good what? Good results. 38. Give a reason why a measuring stone is put on a balance scale. For ingredients to rest on a panel, for the scale to weigh properly, to give an accurate weight, to know the weight of the stone and the ingredients, to give an accurate weight, for ingredients to rest on a panel. Okay, so this is to give an accurate weight. See, that's why he put those things on a scale, to give an accurate weight. And then 39, describe the two procedures of making a toy. Closed opening, stuff. The answer is actually C. And then lastly, keeping of records in business will help one to know losses in his or her business, profits only that his or her is making, where the goods and turn. So here the answer is losses. Keeping records. When you keep records, what does that help you? Whether there is progress or no progress. The answer is actually D on question 40. So question 40, the answer is D. Question 40, the answer is D. Okay, we've come to the end of the lesson for today. Thank you for tuning and thank you for learning, and I hope your mind has expanded. You have had an idea about this lesson. Okay, this is creative technology. It has to do with how creative you are in understanding things. It's more like general knowledge, so you need to be very creative in the way you understand these things. Okay, thank you very much for tuning and thank you very much for learning. I know this has opened your mind to even understand things better. Guys, keep on practicing, keep on studying, keep on putting efforts. Make sure you wake up at night to study. Don't wait anyone to tell you study. Even those past things that we have done, please pass through, go back to the old past papers we have done, pass through them, resolve the questions again, whether it's social studies, whether it is science, whether it's mathematics, whether it's CTS, whether it's special paper 1 or 2, whatever we have done in the past, please go back and practice. Do it over and over. Get a paper, get a book, keep on practicing. Do the same things that we did. Pass through the papers. Do not just sleep. No, keep on practicing. That way it will help you guys to pass and even do very, very well. So my desire is to make sure you guys get distinctions and do very well in these subjects. And the only way you can do well in these subjects if you put efforts, guys. So please don't just be waiting. Don't just be waiting. No, I'm waiting for the next lesson. I'm waiting for the next lesson. No. Go back in the past lessons, because they'll repeat the questions that you have been learning. They'll repeat some of the questions. So please go back and learn all the past questions that we are doing, guys. Make sure you pass through and revise each and every question so that you do very well. And that is my desire. So until then, keep studying and keep knowing that this is FM Tuition Academy. And if it's your first time coming across our video, please click the subscribe button and inform your friends that they can start doing online tuitions with us. Okay, until then, I love you all. Thank you.